Good morning, Todd. That's right. So President-elect Donald Trump will be traveling to Paris this Saturday to attend the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. So the historic cathedral was damaged after a devastating fire 5 years ago and has since been rebuilt. About 50 world leaders are expected to attend the invite-only ceremonies this weekend. Trump says, quote, President Emmanuel Macron has done a wonderful job ensuring that Notre Dame has been restored to its full level of glory, and even more so, it will be a very special day for all. The president-elect also issuing goals for his upcoming administration related to his foreign policy and trade agendas, including a promise to block U.S. steel from being purchased by a Japanese company. He says, quote, I am totally against the once great and powerful U.S. steel being bought by a foreign company, in this case, Nippon Steel of Japan. Through a series of tax incentives and tariffs, we will make U.S. steel strong and great again. The president-elect is also proposing a 25% tariff on Mexico and Canada and an additional 10% on China. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reportedly tells Trump he cannot support that tariff because it would kill the Canadian economy completely. Trump then suggested to Trudeau that Canada become the 51st state, which caused the prime minister and others to, quote, laugh nervously. Trump is also demanding an immediate release of October 7th hostages. He says, quote, if the hostages are not released prior to January 20th, the date I proudly assume office as president of the United States, there will be all hell to pay in the Middle East. 101 hostages are still being held captive in Gaza.
What exactly does Canada want?
We want more money. Yeah, more money. As you can see from this graph, the entire economy of Canada relies on American money. Without them, we are doomed to recession.
What say you, Mr. American? Canada.
You!
They're not even a real country anyway.
They're not even a real country. Oh, man. Jerry, little known fact, Jerry is one of the original creators of South Park. I don't know if that's true, but I got to tell you, that edit is primo, Jerry. It's gold, Jerry. I love me some South Park. Ladies and gentlemen, we have plenty of South Park jokes today on the show as Donald Trump promises to invade Canada. Where does he get this idea? Oh, baby, we know exactly where he's got it, and he has the historical basis to do it. Is he going to do it? We'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. I promise not to do this to Greenland. Today is Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024. Trump reportedly told Justin Trudeau that Canada will become the 51st state of America. Actually, you could add like 10 more states. You could have 60 states. How about that? Like Canada. How about like, let's go to the bargaining table here. All right, this is a great idea. This is Pax Americana. I know the comment. I can see the comments saying people don't like it. They're like, there's too many libs in Canada. I'll prove you wrong. Get ready. Here we go. We've done our research on this. Support for Kash Patel as FBI director grows in the Senate. This is very important. The Senate is the place where Donald Trump's confirmations are meeting some major resistance. We're going to be bringing senators on every single show to give you updates on where the Trump nominees are, ladies and gentlemen. Every single show. Later this week, we'll have Josh Hawley on, Mike Lee, Ted Cruz. It's going to be great. We're going to give you the access points to what the Senate is about, because we're very angry, quite frankly, on how some of the reception, but from what we've been hearing, Donald Trump appointees, and we need to do the work right now to make sure that we muscle the Donald Trump administration into existence, because this is what America voted for. It's not the Senate's job to sabotage Donald Trump because of their own petty grievances. It's the Senate's job to confirm, because it's what the American people wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to rock and roll today with Chip Roy, an incredible member of Congress from Texas, and the great Julie Kelly is back, baby. Yes! Julie Kelly on the show live today. My name is Benny Johnson, and this is The Benny Show. Masculine man is the deodorant that I use. This is the holiday season. There's going to be a lot of hot cooking in the kitchen. There's going to be a lot of hot conversation around the dinner table, ladies and gentlemen. Masculine Man is the deodorant that I use, proudly made here in the United States of America. Hardworking, patriotic men who demand the very best. It's quickly become my favorite brand. This isn't your typical drugstore deodorant. Masculine Man is 100% natural, aluminum-free, and designed to keep you smelling fresh all day long. Whether you're grinding it out on the job site or hitting the gym or doing a podcast under the hot lights, the deodorant is here and has you covered. Here's what you can count on. Bold masculine scents. That lasts all day. No white marks, no yellow stains, and no irritation. Forget the cheap stuff. That fades in a few hours. Masculine Man is built to perform like you. You can find Masculine Man at Amazon. Head over to masculinemanessentials.com. Use the code Benny15 for 15% off. Masculine Man on Amazon. masculinemanessentials.com. Code Benny15 for 15% off. Masculine Man, be awesome. Don't stink. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, something something that certainly doesn't stink, something that is our favorite post of all time from President Trump. It's impossible to actually... Let me give you an impossible task, okay? You ready? Here we go. What's Donald Trump's greatest post on Twitter? There's so many that come to mind. It's like saying, what's the greatest Beatles song? What's the greatest Elvis song? What's the greatest hymn? There are so many. It really does fall to your own personal preference. But I submit to you for your humble approval, chat, for your humble approval, Donald Trump promising that he won't do this to Greenland. Now, this is a photo of a rustique Greenland fishing village, little sea shanties here, with a massive Donald Trump, with a totally unnecessary massive golden skyscraper in the middle of it. Oh, Donald Trump posted this. What's the engagement on this? This has got to have done. This had to have done numbers. This is one of his all-time. This is my favorite post of all time for President Trump. 65,000 reposts, 239,000 likes, 31,000 comments. What's the reason that Trump posted this is not a joke. During Trump's first term as president, when I think he was when he was tamed down, Donald Trump was thinking about American expansionism. He was thinking about resources, military bases, control of the Arctic. These are things that protect America. Donald Trump's always thought about America. Of course, he's a real estate mogul, so he's going to think property, location, location, location. Greenland has a lot going on for it, and Denmark's done nothing with it. Denmark, like 300,000 years ago, landed a ship there and said, it's ours, right? It's like 20 people who live in Greenland. Trump says, hey, why don't you sell it to us? We could do some crazy stuff with Greenland. There's come on, you could have Tesla taxis all over the entire island, build a, massive Universal Studios in the middle of it, build Frozen, I don't know, whatever. There's probably plenty of funny things you could do. Donald Trump working the French fries at the first McDonald's that opens in Greenland. Think about it. Gun ranges, artillery ranges, natural resources, military bases. It's all there. Why not do it? You think this is a joke? Here's Donald Trump literally straight up talking about it. Here we go.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a house call to Mar-a-Lago, hoping to avoid a new 25% tariff if northern border security.
Okay, sorry. Killer Klein. Trump on Greenland. This is Trump talking about buying Greenland. I'm setting up the purchase of Canada, okay? Trust me, it's a good idea to buy Canada. It'd be so smart to buy Canada. I'm going to prove it to you. Here's Trump, though, to show you how real this guy is. Here's Trump on Greenland. Go.
Well, Greenland, I don't know, it got released somehow. It's just something we talked about. Denmark essentially owns it. We're very good allies with Denmark. We protect Denmark like we protect large portions of the world. So the concept came up, and I said, certainly strategically it's interesting, and we'd be interested, but we'll talk to them a little bit. It's not number one on the burner, I can tell you that. Essentially, it's a large real estate deal. A lot of things could be done. It's hurting Denmark very badly because they're losing almost $700 million a year carrying. So they carry it at a great loss. And strategically for the United States, it would be nice. And we're a big ally of Denmark, and we help Denmark, and we protect Denmark, and we will. In fact, I'm supposed to stop. I'm thinking about going there. I'm not definitely going there, but I may be going. We're going to Poland, and then we may be going to Denmark. Not for this reason at all, but we're looking at it.
We're looking at it. We're looking at buying Greenland. You think, don't mess, okay? Don't come for the king. So you're not going to buy Greenland, are you? Yeah, I'm going to buy, why not buy Greenland? What have the Danish done with it? Who are the Danish anymore? What would you say you do here? There's so many good reasons for American expansionism. Legally, right? You don't want to invade people and take their territory, but if someone's willing to sell you Greenland, why not? Why not? So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to establish two really important facts here before we get to Donald Trump telling Justin Trudeau that he's going to buy Canada, all right? And he's going to make it a 51st state. Justin Trudeau is sitting and is currently the prime minister of a failing nation. Canada's economy is in total and complete collapse. Canada itself is in shambles. Canada has reverted to effectively a technocratic dictatorship autocracy. Trudeau, who we firmly believe is the son of Fidel Castro, has completed his father's dream of a communist takeover in the Western Hemisphere, which is something that Fidel Castro has always been obsessed with. Now, we've done an entire series on why we think that that Justin Trudeau could potentially be Fidel Castro's son. Donald Trump actually wrote about it in his book. You can grab that little excerpt here. I mean, don't take my word for it. Listen to Donald Trump. But the story goes, Justin Trudeau's mom was a swinger. She was a wild lady. And she was obsessed with Fidel Castro. Justin Trudeau's father, who looks nothing like him, he's short and bald and snivelly, little Marxist. He's a little Marxist. He was also a prime minister of Canada. And he would vacation all the time in Cuba. There are tons of photos of Justin Trudeau and his father. And there are tons of photos of Justin Trudeau's dad and mother in Cuba in their swinging days with Fidel. Justin Trudeau's mom loved Fidel Castro and talked lavishingly about him. Now, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's ever done a DNA test on Justin Trudeau. I would encourage it. All you need is one little, Donald Trump, just pluck one little bit of hair out of the back of his head. He was close. Trump was so close to Trudeau at this dinner, he could have done it. But anyway, that's the Marxist tendencies of Justin Trudeau. That's all of this sort of explained. Oh, wow, this is shocking. So is that actually little Justin Trudeau with Fidel Castro? Holy smokes. Look at that. It's like a father holding a son. Look at the similarities. I mean, it's chilling. Stevie Wonder could see this. Look at this. Ray Charles would be like, you know what? I can see it. I've seen the light. Look at that, man. You know, if you put up Justin Trudeau's father, you'll realize, dude, the side-by-side, the split screen is crazy. Can you zoom in on that? That's nuts, dude. That's wild. Trudeau, just grow a little mustache. Look at the hairline. That's how you really can tell, you know. That's how you can tell in male genetics. You look at the hairline, you know. Justin Trudeau's father is some pompous, short, bald, little dweeb. Looks nothing like him. But also, I mean, you got to have time and place here. It's Justin Trudeau's dad. It's like, come on, man. No. This is like Prince Harry and Diana and her riding instructor. No. That's not how genetics work. That ain't how genetics work. You are not the father. Boom. Can we do a Jerry Springer like gender reveal DNA test thing? Can we do it live? Anyway. That's why we think it's funny. Donald Trump writing in his book here, just to set this all up, Donald Trump writing in his book. Hold on just a second. Let me grab that. It's a little, here we go. I got it, boys. Justin Trudeau and I got along very well, but there were natural differences. He was very liberal, and I, to put it mildly, am not. It's very interesting to see how we do in the future. But first, I have to say, His mother was beautiful and wild. In the 1970s, she would go clubbing with the Rolling Stones. He puts clubbing in quotation marks. She was somehow associated with Fidel Castro. She said he was the sexiest man I've ever met. And a lot of people say that Justin is his son. He swears he isn't, but how the hell would he know? Castro, look at this. Castro had good hair. The father didn't. Justin has good hair and has become a communist just like Castro. We don't deserve him. Okay? We don't deserve him. We don't deserve Trump. This is what Trump's writing in his book. This is what Trump's writing in his book. Okay? This is what Trump was. This is Trump's authoring of a description of Justin Trudeau in his own hand. And you can tell it's obviously written by Trump and not a ghostwriter because it literally sounds just like Trump. So this is Trump's take. Far be it from me. How much more does Trump know about the world than me? I'm just saying we've done our research here, and it's plausible. It's not only possible, it's plausible that Justin Trudeau is Castro's son. Anyway, the point is that there's no such thing as a functional Marxist economy or nation. Even China is just like a capitalist country with authoritarian controls. They're not actually communist. What Justin Trudeau's done is destroy Canada much like a communist would do. So even his own actions sort of belie where he comes from, right? The old commie instincts. So Justin Trudeau is in very, very bad shape. Justin Trudeau is about to, there it is. Justin Trudeau is about to lose in a landslide in Canada because of the damn parliamentary system. You know, the prime minister has to call elections. So these elections will be when, boys? These elections will be in 2025. I don't know exactly when. It'll be very interesting. I'm invested in this because we have we have a big audience in Canada. Canada's our number 2 largest audience. And so we do our best, and we can speak freely down here. They can't in Canada, so we do our best to cover these topics. Look at this. Pierre Poilievre is the conservative leader in Canada. This is like, we say that Donald Trump won in a landslide. He did. Donald Trump won all 7 swing states, won the Electoral College in a landslide, and won the popular vote. That's a landslide, okay? That's a landslide. But look at this. This is a crazy landslide. This is the stuff of dreams for me. This is what it looks like if the Conservatives, who are blue in Canada, Conservatives and Justin Trudeau's party, which is red, if the election were held today, Junior. New poll predicts Justin Trudeau's Liberals would drop to 3rd place. Imagine the Democrat Party having less members of Congress than the Green Party, right? That's what you're looking at right there. Or like some Union or Reform Party. Okay? This is the equivalent of what you're seeing here. So, bro, like Justin Trudeau is down bad. Conservatives maintain commanding lead over Liberals. There's going to be a landslide bloodbath in the coming Canadian elections. So Trudeau, the last thing he needed to see was a post from President Trump saying, we're going to put a 25% tariff on all Canadian goods because you allow criminal aliens to flow through your country and come through the northern border. And this is something that people used to laugh at us about, that there needs to be a northern border wall. We would say this all the time. Back when Game of Thrones was popular, right? It was, watch the wall. It is like literally build an ice wall with Canada. But lo and behold, the numbers, there is actually a higher percentage increase year over year in northern border crossings than there were in southern border crossings under Barack Obama. Under Barack Obama's cutout, Joe Biden. And so that's an amazing map there, Killer Klein. So look at this. Now, there's also been a massive, of course, there's going to be a massive criminal immigration problem in Canada as well. Canada has allowed an obscene number of legal and illegal migrants into Canada. And again, blue equals conservative in Canada. Blue equals conservative in Canada. Look at this. It does kind of look like America, doesn't it? It does kind of look like the county by county map in America. These would be the seats in Parliament. The entire country is blue. Look at that. The entire freaking country is red, as we would see it, conservative. So Justin Trudeau is already looking at a catastrophic generational landslide that would put his party in third place and would effectively just run him out of office. That's why Justin Trudeau went, ALX, how long was it? Like, Trump posted tariffs on Canada, and Justin Trudeau was on a plane in 24 hours flying to Mar-a-Lago. Bro was lit straight down. He packed his plane so full of fossil fuels and burned so many dinosaur bones to fly private right down to Mar-a-Lago, then got into a 20-car Escalades, gas-guzzling GMC Yukons caravan straight to Mar-a-Lago. Like, bro was ready to rip. And here he is with Donald Trump at dinner, where they talked, according to reports, about NATO, about immigration, about the American dollar and American trade, about economics, about various wars around the world. This is according to the polite political reports. These polite political reports left out two quick things. One, that Justin Trudeau was trolled at this meeting, one, by a little kid. The little kid did moose antlers at Justin Trudeau. I don't know if we have that photo, but it's like the really famous one. And then two, by President Trump to his face. And this is why Justin Trudeau looks like this in this photo. I actually like this photo, Killer Klein, because Justin Trudeau does not look happy there. Trump is beaming. Justin Trudeau looks nervous and looks scared. He looks pale. He has bags under his eyes, and he looks peaked, as my nano used to always say. He doesn't look good. Now, maybe it's because there's a little kid behind him that's doing antler ears at him. Can you see this kid? Can you see him right up there? Killer Klein, can you circle him? There you go. Yeah, that's good. Dude, welcome to Mar-a-Lago, commie, right? Maybe the kid's Cuban. Who knows? You know, maybe this is his way to get back at Fidel. His way to get back at the Castros. But more importantly, and look at his, I assume that's maybe his dad right there sitting next to him. Look how proud that father is. He says, troll the commie, son. Come on, son. He lights your pipe, sips your bourbon. Son, make fun of the communist. Good job. Good job, Jack. Good job. You'll get an extra cigarette after your baseball game. I love this. This is America's golden age. But what we missed in this photo, which we've covered before, and what they missed in all the news stories, is that Trump trolled Trudeau to his face. So Trudeau's already in a bad shape. I'm just trying to lay it all out here. Donald Trump's already planning on buying most of the earth, okay? Because America can. He planned on buying Greenland in term one. Trudeau's there getting trolled to by all the little kids. All the little kids are neener, running around behind. You went to the Barbie movie. You wore tight pink shirts, right? You cry. What are the other humiliating things that Trudeau? You trip on potted plants. There's all these funny, hilarious videos of Trudeau just being a total jackass. Look at that photo. Look at it. I mean, everyone sees this. What the hell is wrong with this guy? What is this? That's allegedly Trudeau's son, I think. Is that correct? Dude, this is how you're raising your boys? No wonder Canada's so effed. Going to the Barbie movie. And he brought his daughter to Oppenheimer. Dude, you get a CPS call, all right? You bring your son to the Barbie movie and your daughter to Oppenheimer. Somebody call Child Protective Services, all right? Also, what's the weird, this photo's so funny. What's the weird thing in his head? He has this weird growth in the middle of his forehead. Nobody knows what it is. What the hell is that? Something's wrong with Justin Trudeau, right? He hit his head. He busted his head. He got divorced this year too. It was, you never trust guys like that. He got divorced. He got a mother, his wife of 20 years. Something's wrong's going on with this guy. Okay, something's messed up with this dude. Anyway, so he's already in a very weakened spot. He's already losing in the polls. Things are devastating for Justin Trudeau. Nothing's going right. He's hitting his head at the Barbie movie, and then Trump pulls this one on him. Why don't we just invade Canada and America will take it from you and you can be like the governor and we'll make Canada our 51st state. Ladies and gentlemen, the reporting by Peter Ducey. Let's go.
Well, Greenland, I don't know, it got released.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau made a house call to Mar-a-Lago, hoping to avoid a new 25% tariff if northern border security isn't improved.
The threat of tariffs against Mexico and Canada immediately has produced action.
Trudeau is pledging additional aviation assets, like helicopters and drones, to watch over the border, according to Canada's Globe and Mail.
The public threat, the social media posting was on Monday evening. 4 days later, we were at his residence in Florida, having dinner to talk about exactly that context.
Things are changing, but Trump allies say the new foreign policy is actually pretty straightforward.
What you're going to see is basically the global diplomacy of rock, paper, scissors.
And tonight we're getting some new details about that Trump-Trudeau dinner from two people who were at the table. We are told that when Trudeau told President-elect Trump that new tariffs would kill the Canadian economy, Trump joked to him that if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S. to the tune of $100 billion a year, then maybe Canada should become the 51st state and Trudeau could become its governor. Right.
So this is not being corroborated by every news outlet in the world. Trump tells Trudeau that we'll just invade Canada. Why not? I love American military history. I'm certainly no expert. But I do know this. America has invaded Canada and did invade Canada very successfully, in fact, in the first battle of the Revolutionary War. We took Quebec. Do you know that? That not only did America take Quebec, that 50 years later, after the Revolutionary War, we took Mexico City in the Mexican-American War. America should have had total dominance over our hemisphere. It would have been very smart. We already invaded and took over Mexico. We've effectively captured the capital of Canada, right? Captured the largest metropolitan area of Canada before. America's invaded Canada before. We can do this peacefully, ladies and gentlemen. Peacefully. We have a great history of that. Come on. The French-Canadian Wars up there, these are things of legend. Let's return to the legacy. Return to our great history. Jesse Waters with more details last night on how America could take over Canada. And we have some special maps for what America may look like in the next generation, how our hemisphere may look moving forward. Exciting times. There we go.
For Canada and Mexico, that means a 25% tariff on all exports if they don't crack down on the drugs and migrants bum rushing our borders. Justin Trudeau knows Trump means business. So he took a flight down to Mar-a-Lago on Blackface Friday to prove he is ready to play ball.
Prime Minister, was it a productive meeting with President-elect?
It was an excellent conversation.
And Fox has exclusive details about how that Mar-a-Lago sit-down went. The two talked tariffs over crab cocktail and oysters. At one point, Trump told Trudeau to get our trade deficit under control, telling the prime minister it is unacceptable for the U.S. to run up to like $100 billion trade deficit. And if they don't, they can expect a flat 25% tariff on all Canadian goods day one. Trudeau apparently wasn't thrilled. Sacre bleu. You will kill our economy, he said. Then Trump said if Canada can't survive without ripping off the U.S., they're free to join America as our 51st state. And when someone at the table pointed out that that would probably be a pretty Democrat state, Trump says we'll split Canada in two, the conservative side and the liberal side, to keep it fair electorally. And if Justin wants to stick around, he can be Canada's governor. Everybody laughed, but most importantly, it got results. Canada's ambassador to the United States says the country's already talking about beefing up their border security.
Who cares? Show me the results. Nobody cares. Work harder. What are the results? If the results are that Canada stops human smuggling into America, have you seen these videos? These trail cameras? So these trail cams, right, that hunters use and conservationists use to track the movements of deer and wildlife through the wilderness. Like every single night, these trail cameras pick up hundreds, if not thousands, of criminal aliens flowing in from Canada across the border. States like the Dakotas and Vermont, New Hampshire. It's a real problem. There's a higher increase in criminal immigration in the northern border than there is in the southern border. So this is a massive problem. Now, Donald Trump hitting the nail on the head here. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think, would you want America to look like this? Would you want this to be like the new map of the northern hemisphere? Look, we got Greenland in there. The new Colossus. we look at how we could expand Alaska, kind of bump up the northern states there, the northern territories. You got bigger Dakotas and Montana, right? You can make a new states. Lincoln. Who wants a land bridge to Alaska? I don't want to have to show my passport to get to Alaska. We own Alaska. I don't have to show my passport. Why should I have to show my passport to drive to Alaska? It's annoying. It's inconvenient for me. And I'm an American, so I like convenience. I shouldn't have to. Canada should effectively just surrender itself to America. Make it so much easier. You'll be so much richer. You'll be so much happier. We don't accept Marxism down here. Kash Patel is going to run the FBI. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. The freaking RFK Jr. Come on, you love RFK Jr. There's some fit people in Canada, okay? RFK Jr. He'll ban poutine. You don't need that stuff anyway. It's garbage. Gravy on fries. What's wrong with you? No. You can keep your Mounties. Everyone thinks Mounties are cool. Think about it. There's so many resources in Canada. Look at this, the brand new American Leviathan. You already add a flag. We'll make a flag, a little leaf for you. Look at that. It's great. Everyone loves maple syrup. Got it. Here's the bargaining chip. Got it. Straight from this show, straight from us. Okay? We'll give you back Aunt Jemima. You love your syrup. We'll put Aunt Jemima back on the bottle. And then you can shove all your Canadian maple syrup straight down her throat. Think about it. It's a perfect bargain. Canada, come on. You know you want it. You know you want some Auntie J. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this. Think about your maple syrup all up in this right now. Just pop that up, Klein. Just pop that up. There you go. Just shove. Look, think about it. Don't you want that? I know you do. Christmas morning, pancakes, waffles, crispy waffles, Canadian maple syrup. Aunt Jemima. We make it French, right? Aunt Jemima. It's perfect. I don't speak French. Okay, so it's a great offer. It's a tender offer. Think about it, Canada. Everyone loves it. What do we got? We got other memes. What do we got? Donald Trump, I promise not to do this to Canada. What I love about this is it's so unnecessary. It's such an unnecessary giant golden. There's nothing around it, right? So why the skyscraper? It's awesome. It's perfect. Well, think about how the views of that room would be amazing. Those would be beautiful, beautiful views of that room. There's plenty of gold in Canada. You can use the gold for the windows. Okay, next. What's the next one? Oh, yeah, look at this. The Great Liberation. There would have been no trucker convoy problems in Canada. There would have been no trucker convoy issues in Canada with the Great Liberator. Come on. Western Hemisphere Napoleon. There is a man who probably put this idea in Trump's head. We have this on good authority. Well, because we texted him this morning about it. The man who said we should invade Canada to begin with is Tucker Carlson. Tucker, who's, of course, what's the right way to say this? Like a de facto advisor? ALX. Tucker was sitting right next to Trump at dinner when we were there. We were at Mar-a-Lago a week ago. We're going back this week. Got some meetings where we're going to pay in cash only, if you know what I mean. Tucker Carlson's in right next to Trump, and they were having a great time. And you could just see like Tucker's like a de facto advisor for President Trump. Did this idea come from Tucker? All right, our great producer Danny D'Urbina reminded me of this clip. This clip is like 2 or 3 years old at this point. Tucker, the initial spark right here.
I mean, why should we stand back and let our biggest trading partner, the country with which we share the longest border, and actually, I could just say a great country. I love Canada. I've always loved Canada because of its natural beauty. Why should we let it become Cuba? Like, why don't we liberate it? We're spending all this money to liberate Ukraine from the Russians. Why are we not sending an armed force north to liberate Canada from Trudeau? And I mean it.
I mean it too. Why not? Tucker Carlson did a tour in Canada where he gave speeches to packed stadiums, right? Big sports arenas. And they were really, really rowdy. It's really fun. Some of the clips. Do we have that old clip? Sorry I'm asking for so many assets, guys. It's just like, there's so much great material here. Do you have Tucker Carlson in Canada talking about Justin Trudeau being Castro's son? Tucker Carlson has been the foremost front of this theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's a theory. It's plausible. Do you have that? And maybe the UFC chanting F Trudeau. The UFC went to Canada. There's a massive F Trudeau chant that broke out. Dana White, F Trudeau. Here we go. Tucker Carlson declaring to Trudeau that he's going to invade Canada. Go.
Thank you for your call. You have reached the media line. For all urgent requests, please send your request by email. Merci pour votre appel. Vous avez atteint la ligne médiatique. Merci beaucoup.
Yes, hi. I couldn't understand the French part, but it's Tucker Carlson calling from the United States. And I'd be grateful if you pass a message on to the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau. We are coming to liberate Canada. We are coming to liberate Canada. And we'll be there soon. Merci.
Merci. Okay, so here's this was Tucker Carlson saying he's going to go to Canada, do some events and some speeches, and here's what he said to these Canadian audiences that are packed in massive sports arenas.
Oh, you know, go to Canadian Tire for an hour. Justin, can you watch my kids? I don't think you're going to do that. Once you hate on your country, it's totally cool. Don't worry, he's a good steward. But he will collapse under the weight of his own ludicrousness and go back to Cuba or do whatever he does. But, what? You know, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's just too great to check. Though if I ever meet him, I'm going to demand a 23andMe, like right away.
Here's all I'm saying is that Trump was close enough to get a 23andMe. This photo of Trump and Trudeau, they're so close. Yeah, Trump could, all you have to do is just pluck one hair follicle off, right? And you could do it. You could do it. You could do the test right there in Mar-a-Lago. You could do the test with the robot dogs. This is I think this is just B-roll of the size of the crowds that Tucker Carlson got in Canada. Canada is prepared for freedom. Canada wants freedom. They want freedom whether it's Tucker Carlson speaking or whether it is UFC, which we will be going to UFC and bringing you ringside at UFC. It's going to be so exciting. In about a week, I think. About a week. Yeah, today is December 3rd, so a week and a half. We're going to be sitting ringside here. It's going to be very, very fun. Hopefully Trump will be there. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it sounded like when UFC went to Canada. Oh, do we not have that one yet? Okay. Sorry, guys. This is what liberation of Canada looks like. Okay, so I don't often get concerned or obsessed over any other country's elections. There's too much going on here in this country. It's too interesting. There's this good dude named Pierre Poilievre, is the way you pronounce it, and dude is that's the right way to compare it. You can't call him Trump because he's not like Trump. No one's like Trump. Trump's like Trump. But he's very much like J.D. Vance. Watch this clip of him eating an apple and talking to a left-wing reporter and tell me if you don't get like big-time J.D. Vance vibes. Now, again, I've shown you the polls. This dude, Pierre Poilievre, he's the leader of the Conservative Party, is ready. His party is set and ready to win hundreds of seats in the next election. He will be your next prime minister. Big time J.D. Vance energy from this guy. There's great hope for Canada. Let's go.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left
or
right.
Anyways, I don't
really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
I don't know who, but
well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
Okay, I'm sure there's some out there, but anyways, the point of this question is, I mean, why should Canadians trust you with their vote, given not just the sort of ideological inclination in terms of taking the page out of Donald Trump's book, but
what are you
also
talking about? What page? What page? Can you give me a page? Give me the page. You keep saying
in terms of turning things quite dramatically in terms of Trudeau and the left wing and all of this. I mean, you make quite a it's quite a play that you make on it. So I'm
not
just
sure.
wondering.
I don't know what your question is.
Then forget that. Why should Canadians trust you with their vote?
Common sense. Okay. Common sense for a change. We're going to make common sense common in this country. We don't have any common sense in the current government. The guy prints $600 billion, grows our money supply by 32% in 3 years. That's growing the money 8 times faster than the economy. No wonder we have the worst inflation in 4 decades. I'm going to cap spending, cut waste, so that we can balance the budget and bring down inflation and interest rates. You'll want to be able to pay your mortgage again? You want to be able to afford rent? Then you have to vote for Pierre Poilievre, because I'm the only one with a common sense plan that will bring back the buying power of your paycheck.
Isn't that great? Isn't that great? I'm not wrong on this. I'm not wrong on this. We do have one single superpower on this program, which is we're alive. We pay attention. Pattern recognition. Dude's just like J.D. Vance. He's clearly scary smart. He's disarming. He's calm. He's calmer than the questioner. And he just shadow boxes that guy. It's embarrassing. He's like dunking on him. Like it was Shaq with one of those Fisher-Price hoops. Who says that? What are you talking about? What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. What do you mean by that? Watch it. Like it's just a master class. It's a master class. It's very similar to what you've seen JD do throughout the cycle. Now his interviews were less viral than obviously Trump's interviews, but it's like a surgeon, right? Trump's very much like a sledgehammer. This is like a surgeon's scalpel. It's perfect. It's beautiful. And this is going to be the next generation of leadership in Canada. We're very excited about that. Here is the aforementioned UFC clip. Killer Klein is a massive UFC fan, so I didn't want to miss this. And of course, we got it for you. This is UFC in Toronto, and it's the entire arena chanting something very special. See if you can make it out. All right. So that's Canada's version of a Let's Go Brandon chant. Ladies and gentlemen, not a popular guy. This is a wonderful resetting of the table for President Trump. This is what you have not seen in so long in this country. You've seen just a abuse of our leaders because our leaders have been weak. Our leaders have been illegitimate. Our leaders have been frail. Our leaders have been incontinent. Our leaders are third world, banana republic level corrupt, pardoning their sons when they told the country time and time again they wouldn't. And so that doesn't deign respect from world leaders. Donald Trump does. Donald Trump The madman is back, and I love it. I love the results. The results that Trump's getting already. He's 2 months away from being president. I mean, we still got like 2 months. We got like 8 weeks we got until Trump is sworn in. And he's already resetting the entire global ecosystem. Vladimir Putin this weekend is up saying Trump is the man. And he's strong, and we respect that. And we're going to go back to selling oil in the dollar. We were just joking about that whole BRICS thing, making a new currency around the world. Zelensky saying the same thing. Zelensky saying, whoa, like, I'm ready to negotiate. I'm ready to give up territory. I'm ready to stop the war. We're going to end this thing. We're going to end the carnage. We're going to end the killing. Yes. Hamas, please, please don't destroy us. What was the post yesterday from Trump about Hamas and holding hostages? Because there are some Americans that are still held hostage over there. We don't talk about it enough. There are Americans that are still held hostage over there. He was on Truth Social. He said there will be hell to pay if I'm inaugurated and you're holding an American hostage. Get ready. You're going to see the hostages released. They're all going to be released. China just released like some American prisoners, like without Trump even asking. Because of this, we're resetting the entire globe right now because of the strength of the leadership. Canada, don't you want to be respected? Don't you want this? Here's the post. Release the hostages now. If you don't release them, by the time I am sworn into office, there will be hell to pay in the Middle East for those who are in charge and perpetrated these atrocities against humanity. Those responsible will hit harder than anybody has ever been hit in a long, long history of the United States of America. Release the hostage now. And we all remember Abu Bakr el-Baghdadi getting killed by the robot dogs. He died like a dog. Do you imagine how scary that would be? To have a bunch of robots. They did it with robots. Do you know this? They thought he had like a suicide vest on. So they came after him with robots and dogs. And you're like, you're sitting there inside of some little hut in the desert. And like a Tesla robot, like with red eyes, breaks through your wall, blows up your wall, and then a bunch of rabid dogs come after you. That's awesome. Died like a dog. We call him. We call him. What? How's the Shane Gillis bit go? We call him.
Cry baby, Abu, don't cry.
Abu, don't cry. Cry baby. They are beautiful dogs. Oh, yeah. Just 40 minutes of the meanest shit talk ever. That's right. Abu, don't cry. Cry baby Baghdadi. That's what it is. Cry baby Baghdadi, we call him. Shane Gillis. What a legend. Amazing. So, yeah, Canada. This could be you. What's not to love? This could be you. Instead, you got this jackass. Look at this guy. Here's him walking over the... Dude, it was I'm going to tell you this is a video of him walking into Mar-a-Lago. It's not. This is him in Canada. But look at this. Waving to a non-existent crowd of people. He literally walks into a plane. What an idiot. What a dumbass. God, Canada, you deserve better. We're excited about it. We hold it down for our audience in Canada, okay? We hold it down for our audience there. Will we travel to Canada? We wanted to so badly before the election, and we didn't get there. We were so busy before the election. In fact, it was the garbage truck thing. We drove around a garbage truck with Vivek instead of going to Canada. We were going to go to Kamala Harris's neighborhood and see if we could find her accent. Kamala Harris was raised in Montreal, so we can still do it. It'll still be funny. It won't have the same effect, but we did our best. Ladies and gentlemen, if we went to Canada, our Patriot Mobile phones would work. Patriot Mobile, ladies and gentlemen, is the official cell phone of the Benny Show. It works all over the world. It works here in America. It's available on all 3 major networks, and they are a company that shares your values. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT right now. Get a free month when you use the offer code Benny. patriotmobile.com/Benny, the America's only Christian conservative wireless provider, will work in Canada as well. We actually checked. We actually checked. Will work in Canada as well, ladies and gentlemen. Patriot Mobile, available on all 3 networks. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy, Kash Patel. Are we going to meet with Kash Patel this week? Can Kash Patel come on live during the show, during his confirmation process? Julie Kelly can, and Julie Kelly will be on the show momentarily, fresh off some major victories. But ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited that Kash Patel is picking up steam. Kash Patel is the red line in the sand, as Mike Davis said. Red line in the sand. There is no reason for any member of the Senate, Democrat and Republican, to ever vote against Kash. Kash has a pedigree that is that is bigger than the entire studio. He has such a sophisticated and prestige history inside of these organizations. I'm talking about the DOJ, the FBI, the Department of Defense, the intel communities. Kash Patel received an award for merit from Barack Obama. What are you going to do? How are you going to do that? How are you going to spin that? Now, this might sound like crazy. You might be like, why is he getting an award from Obama? He is just an excellent prosecutor who pursues truth. That's what you should have. That's what you should want. This is a resetting of the table. This is Canada, ladies and gentlemen. You should want things to normalize. For the body to get better, it needs to run a fever. You got to get rid of the bacteria. You got to get rid of the sickness, the illness itself. You're going to have a pretty high fever. Whew, and I got a high fever. And the only anecdote is more cash. Ladies and gentlemen, Kash Patel, building up a lot of support in the Senate. He has a man named Trey Gowdy, who we think looks a lot like Ellen DeGeneres, but he's helping out Kash, so we're going to stop making fun of him, okay? We're officially calling off us making fun of Trey Gowdy, calling him Ellen DeGeneres, all right? We have not confirmed. We have never seen Trey Gowdy and Ellen DeGeneres in the same room, but we're going to stop because he's helping out our boy Kash. Kash Patel at the FBI. Here's yesterday, Tommy Tuberville walking out to a massive crowd of reporters saying, yo, Kash is the man. We're going with Kash. Kash only.
What I've seen since I've been here, there's been way too many things that have gone wrong with our FBI. There's a lot of good people in the FBI, but it needs to be overhauled, just like the military. And I think Kash Patel will be very good at it. I've known Kash for every year since I've been up here. I've had an opportunity to sit down with him and speak about a lot of different things, military, intelligence, DOD, all the things he's been involved in. But I think Kash Patel is going to be a really good director of the FBI.
Good. Where's our newly minted Republican leader, John Thune, on this? Why is John Thune so quiet? I'm sorry that I'm right on John Thune. I'm sorry that I am. I'm angry about it. I'm angry that I'm right. Okay? I warned you all about John Thune. We did everything in our show's power, including leaking the whip list, to try and prevent John Thune from getting the chair. We wanted Rick Scott. Rick Scott would have been out in front fighting for Kash. Unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are stuck with the aftermath, with the Padawan learners of Mitch McConnell, who are cowards. John Thune has not once posted about endorsing Kash Patel, never once endorsed Matt Gaetz. It hasn't posted about endorsing Pam Bondi. He's not out front on any of this. You're called a leader for a reason. The leader. Okay, yeah, pop it up. It's like a quote. Okay. Okay, he said he'll have a thorough and fair process, and ultimately our members are going to decide. What a cock! I'm so angry about it. I warned you about this. John Thune says he has issues with Christopher Wray's performance at the FBI. Oh, really? The FBI doing military-style raids on innocent American civilians. Churches, grandmas, locking up terrorizing Americans. Oh, John Thune has issues with it. And Kash will get a fair process. Our members will decide. How about you say Kash Patel's the right man, and anybody who doesn't vote for Kash Patel is going to get kicked the hell out of the caucus? How about you say that? Why wouldn't you say that? Because Mitch McConnell's actually in charge. It's grotesque. That's why we fought so hard against this. I hate to be right. I hate to be right. Here we go. Either way, they can lose 4 votes. They can lose 4 votes. J.D. Vance can come in and vote, right, as VP. So they can lose 4. Really quickly here. Here's Ron DeSantis going in hard in the paint for Kash Patel. Good for you, dude.
But what do you say to the senators on Capitol Hill that are already quietly vowing to put up roadblocks to the president's choice to be FBI director, Kash Patel? What do you say to them given the outcome of this election?
So, one, I think you do owe the president a great deal of deference on his picks. Kash Patel understands the problems with the FBI, and he is a reformer that will not be captured by the bureaucrats. Contrast that to our current FBI director, Christopher Wray. We remember when he got appointed back in 2017, he immediately became a company man and was captured by that institution. He has not reformed it in any way, shape, or form. And so I actually think Kash has a lot of very significant experience that's important here. But put that aside, you can be the smartest guy in the world. You can have all this experience. If you don't understand that the institution needs to be reformed, if you get captured, then you're done. You're not going to be effective. And so I think Donald Trump in this pick and others, he's making sure he's getting people who have the proper posture to these institutions. These are not the revered institutions that they may have been 30 years ago. These are very problematic institutions. Kash understands that. I think a lot of Republican senators understand that, but apparently not enough do.
Do you expect him to get confirmed, Governor?
I do.
All right. Governor DeSantis, thank you so much. Great to see you, as always.
Governor DeSantis said, you can't reform a system when you're a part of that system. You can't expect the virus to go fight the other virus. More virus doesn't help your body if you have a fever. If you're sick, you need a fever. You need an antibody reaction to break the actual virus. You can't inject more virus into it. Something that a problem with Donald Trump's first term. So this is the antibody reaction. You need to increase the heat in D.C. and break this poison. Nobody trusts the FBI. That's a major problem. I want America to trust our law enforcement institutions. I don't want them to be abused. Joining us in just a second is going to be Julie Kelly, who's going to talk about those abuses, and we're so excited to have her back. Really quickly here, American trust in the FBI at all-time lows. This is why.
Patel has real reason to believe that Americans would go along with changes that he might potentially make at the FBI, and there's a reason why Donald Trump feels like he can make this change. It's because if you look here, FBI is doing an excellent or good job. Look at this time trend line. You go back to 2014, right? It was 59% of Americans, then 57% in 2019, 50% in 2022. Look at where we are today. My goodness gracious, just 41% of Americans think the FBI is doing an excellent or good job. That is by far the lowest number this century. The bottom line is, during the Trump administration, obviously there were the investigations into Donald Trump. You saw a little bit of drop then, and then post January 6th, look at that drop, 50%, now 41%. My goodness gracious, Kate.
Look at this. My goodness gracious. Ladies and gentlemen, my goodness gracious. Holy cannoli, guacamole from the great land of a state that should be red, I think, Illinois. I believe it. We were just at Trump Tower, so I got a little spot in my heart for this. And I'm from the Midwest, right? Like, why is Minnesota and Illinois blue? I think in my lifetime, we can flip those states red. One of the people who would actually help in that process would be the great Julie Kelly, the speaker of truth. From the great white wilderness comes Julie Kelly, fresh off a lot of victories. Here we go. We love us some Julie Kelly. I texted Julie Kelly. I said, you picked the wrong week to be offline, Julie. Everything's changed. Welcome back.
I did. I had some eye surgery, not an eye lift,
That is in my future, though, but eye surgery. So I missed seeing you and your beautiful family again in Chicago. But I do love seeing how you have such an affinity for the city, because it is a beautiful city filled with a lot of great people and a lot of fun things to do. So it looked like you guys had a blast at Trump Tower, the Trump Hotel.
Yes, we certainly did. It was such a warm reception to a very cold city. This is a reception that I wish to speak with you about very quickly here as we let the shot normalize. ALX, let me know if it okay, good. Pop it up. Here's Kash Patel. I put this up, Julie. I wanted to start with Kash. There's so much news that has happened since you've been on the show. You've only been off the show for 2 weeks, but I feel like the entire world has changed in those 2 weeks. I want to get to all of it really quickly. Kash Patel. This is an older post, but a great post proving why he must be FBI director. I'm sure you have some thoughts on this. When was the last time you snorted crack, paid multiple women for sex, one of which was your dead brother's wife, then slept with your sister, having them all on payroll, capturing it all on camera, while snuffling through classified documents your dad stole, while you used to get 7-figure contracts from America's enemies? Oh yeah, and unlawfully obtained a firearm and all got away with it. Only if your name is Hunter Biden and your dad is called Joe. Whew. Yeah, I think that's exhibit A for why we need Kash at the FBI. I don't think any of this would have happened if we had a proper FBI. The horrors of the Joe Biden FBI are truly impossible to actually enumerate. But maybe let's start with what changes would Kash Patel bring to the FBI, as you've been the #1 reporter covering it all?
Well, of course, I know Kash, and this is why you see the media and Democrats and even lily-livered Republican rhino senators who are nervous about Kash taking over that bureau, because he understands exactly what happened there, dating back to when he was with Devin Nunes's House Intelligence Committee and exposing all the corruption related to the FISA abuse and the Steele dossier and connections to the Hillary Clinton campaign and DNC. And so he was instrumental in uncovering all of that. So I believe he will continue to dig into what happened there, but everything that has happened since then. And of course, I am most excited and enthusiastic about Kash's defense of the J6 defendants, understanding at a very visceral level what has happened in those cases. And not only, I think, will he fully expose all the FBI assets that were involved in January 6th before and on that day, but also look into the abusive tactics of the FBI. Benny, as you know, what I posted last night, another aggressive armed SWAT raid of the home of a J6 protester. And this was just in October of this year. So I believe he will dig into who was responsible for deploying those military-style tactics against American citizens, terrorizing them and their entire neighborhoods, and violating the fundamental rights of American citizens. So I feel very confident that that is just a few things. Those are a few things that Kash will address as FBI director.
Yeah, let's jump over here to this tweet. This is absolutely horrifying. This is camera footage of what looks like martial law, a military-style operation, like an Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi operation on an American citizen. This happened in October. 15 heavily armed FBI agents storm with flashbang grenades, pointing guns at American citizens for peacefully protesting. What the hell is wrong with our country?
You know, Benny, I've seen a lot of Ring camera footage of FBI raids over the past several years. This one really shocked me because the subject, Jeff Snyder, was not home. And in fact, he is still at large. But his wife was home and they hauled her out. This is 6 a.m. in the morning, right? So 6 a.m. is the earliest apparently the FBI can conduct a raid. So you can see in this footage, they're not just going to the home. They're waking up the entire neighborhood with this shrew FBI agent on a loudspeaker, demanding that Jeff Snyder exit his house. In the meantime, they've got guns pointed at his wife. They drag her outside. They handcuff her and interrogate her, even though she's not a suspect, of course. The entire neighborhood wakes up. And then they start interrogating the neighbors, which they've continued to do so for weeks. I was told that one of the neighbors was interrogated on Thanksgiving Day. They practiced this raid FBI told one neighbor at the Oakland Zoo. This is Oakland, California. Now think of Oakland, California, right? Like any big city, a lot of crime, a lot of illegals there. But this is how our government is using our most powerful tools and resources against American citizens for protesting Joe Biden's election now almost 4 years ago. Absolutely disgraceful.
We went to Oakland and were robbed within minutes of being in Oakland, had our car windows smashed. And our producer, ALX, had to fight off a robber. That's how crime-ridden and filthy Oakland is. Oakland is an absolute cesspool. It looks like a third world UNICEF UN camp for refugees is what Oakland looks like. And this is what our federal government is spending our time doing, terrorizing Americans. What would be... I mean, I know you've posted this morning about the Inspector General refusing to release a report about the FBI's activities on January 6th. Why is that happening? How do we get that report? What would you advise Kash Patel to do to restore trust with the American people? Because I think that's really what it's all about. I'm the FBI's best friend. I'm the DOJ's best friend in the world. The best friend you got here is little old me saying, if you release the data and if you release the documents, the American public will trust you. You will begin to you'll establish now high trust with the American public if you talk about the Epstein list, the Diddy list, if you don't protect pedophiles, and if you tell us how many agents were in the crowd at January 6th and make amends for it. This is how you actually restore these agencies. What's the reporting here from this Inspector General?
Well, Michael Horowitz, as you know, is a deep stater. He has been the DOJ Inspector General for years. He did produce some good reports, especially related to FISA abuse. He sent some criminal referrals, including Andrew McCabe for lying under oath to his office. Of course, the DOJ never prosecuted him, Andrew McCabe and others. But look, Michael Horowitz wants to keep his job and keep the authority that he has there. He actually suspended this internal investigation while it appears that the January 6th Select Committee was conducting its work. And his excuse was, well, I couldn't interfere in their investigation. Well, of course you can, because you have authority on your own to investigate the DOJ and FBI's role in January 6th. So that was suspended for an unknown amount of time. But Michael Horowitz told Congress in September the report was completed. It was in draft form. It was undergoing a classification review. Of course, many of you know what that means. Somebody is sitting there with a black, marker, scratching out everything that it doesn't want released to the public under the guise that it's, national security or sensitive intelligence matters, et cetera. But now it's been sitting there for 3 months. Now, Merrick Garland told Congress he would not interfere in Michael Horowitz making those findings public. So where is it now? It's been done for 3 months. Not only, Benny, are we entitled, the American people entitled, to know how many FBI assets, informants, undercover employees, agents were involved, but these defendants deserve to know, because they can then argue an entrapment defense. And some of them have tried before, rejected by the judges. But if we have confirmation by the Department of Justice that hundreds of FBI assets were deployed to the Capitol as, looking like Trump supporters or encouraging the crowd or acting as agitators, then they can present that sort of entrapment defense. And of course, as you know, and I've been posting, we had 3 jury trials start yesterday in Washington, D.C., Benny. These trials are still ongoing. People are still being sentenced to jail. These proceedings are not stopping in the Washington federal courthouse as they should. So this is a big piece of the puzzle that's still missing. And Michael Horowitz and, of course, Attorney General Merrick Garland are responsible for withholding that sort of exculpatory evidence from these defendants and from the American public.
So the major talking point out right now over the past 24 hours is that Joe Biden just handed the largest blanket pardon in American history to his criminal, degenerate, sex pest son, who, again, as we have elucidated here, Kash's tweet did a great job actually of doing it, that absolved him of not specific crimes, but all crimes that he might have committed in an 11-year period. And everyone on the left is saying, hold on, you just gave Donald Trump a roadmap for pardoning January 6th defendants and maybe just pardoning all of them. Now, Mike Davis was on our show yesterday saying, I used to be of the mind that we should go case by case and really look at the details. But now I personally believe Trump should just blanket pardon and just say, nope, it's too much of a rat's nest, all of this, and you've now handed us the weapon with which to do this. What's your thought now on January 6 pardons, given the Hunter Biden news?
Look, I have always been for almost a blanket pardon, with a few exceptions, maybe people with criminal records or really involved in violence. But I have a piece up at my Substack right now, Declassified with Julie Kelly, that says, yes, based on now the Hunter Biden pardon, the broadness of it, covering up for crimes that Hunter Biden obviously committed while his father was president, how can we possibly justify a piecemeal approach to pardoning and offering the same sort of blanket clemency to January 6th defendants? Look, Benny, even the ones who are accused of assaulting police officers. We know that police officers from the DC Metro Capitol Police started the violence that day. They started attacking protesters. Most of the confrontations that we see on the cherry-picked videos leaves that context, important context, out. Well, not only was that sort of video left out in the American public, it was also left out in trials, because judges time after time refused to let jurors see how the police misconduct that day that prompted this uprising by protesters who were standing outside a government building on public property on a Wednesday afternoon. They did not have to be attacked by DC Metro and Capitol Police using flashbangs like we just saw the FBI in that clip use, rubber bullets, dousing people with tear gas, shoving women down the stairs, beating women over the head. I mean, these are facts of what happened on January 6th. All of that has been ignored by the media, by the J6 Select Committee, and been buried in these trials. No one in Washington, D.C. got a fair trial in a city that voted 93% for Joe Biden and 93% for Kamala Harris. The entire process from beginning to end was rigged against these defendants. And that is the biggest argument, in addition to this broad pardon for Hunter Biden, why all January 6th defendants should be pardoned, released from prison, and be able to go on and try to rebuild their lives.
It's amazing. Like, people get released all the time. Like, people who are convicted of murder, mass murder, like multiple murders, get convicted on technicalities all the time. Somebody doesn't dot an I, cross a T. Somebody has the wrong date in a filing, and you let them go. You spring them. You say, okay, that's the system. You know, the system can't work against you. From the get, Julie, this has been the system clearly wishing to persecute and torture Americans for their First Amendment right, which is to redress their government grievances peacefully. And it's been an abomination from the get. And I'm in favor of it. I'm totally in favor of it. So pardon all J6ers. This is up at Declassified Live. Julie Kelly, I want to just quickly pivot to the squishy, cucky, limp-wristed, still McConnell-controlled wing in the Senate, who is slow-walking these picks along with John Thune, who's obviously being everything that we knew he was going to be by not declaring. It is astonishing to me. I haven't seen a single declarative statement from John Thune saying, we will vote for this pick. This is a good pick. We must vote for it. It's total and complete deference to Mitch McConnell every time, saying, well, our members are going to decide. That's what he says on Kash Patel. Do you have a message for these limp-wristed Republicans in the Senate?
I mean, look, John Thune, to your point, is exactly who we knew he would be. And this is how he has conducted himself in office. And it is so unfortunate that our only real choices were John Thune and John Cornyn. Of course, we all tried to get Rick Scott in there as well. But this has been the problem with the Senate Republicans for how many decades? I just don't understand why we are saddled with this sort of weak, cowardly leadership when our institutions are in crisis. The public trust in our government, leadership, and of course, as you just pointed out, the Department of Justice and FBI is crashing. And you have John Thune sitting there saying, well, I guess we have a few problems at the top. No, we don't. John Thune, look at the video that I just posted last night and that you just showed, Benny. This is not a problem with the FBI that was only relegated to the 7th floor of the J. Edgar Hoover building in Washington, D.C. This has infected all 56 FBI field offices who are treating American citizens like domestic terrorists. And he wants to sit there and mealy mouth Kash Patel. So again, very disappointing, but I do think, and now of course, John Thune isn't up for re-election for 4 years, so primary may not really scare him, but there has to be other consequences for him standing in the way of allowing bold leaders, aggressive leaders like Kash Patel, take over these agencies, expose the corruption, get the rot out from top to bottom, and try to restore the public trust that is completely gone in the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency.
Like, who won the Senate majority? It wasn't the senators. It was Donald Trump. Donald Trump overperformed every single senator that was a new senator that got elected. Donald Trump overperformed in their states. So it was Donald Trump who carried across a majority for the Senate. So the extreme deference to President Trump and the advise and consent is, I mean, it's amazing. Advise and consent doesn't mean I don't like you because we have petty grievances with each other, and so now I'm going to sabotage you. It's really sick, frankly, what's going on with Republicans. If these were Democrats, half these Republicans voted for Merrick Garland, which I will constantly remind people. They voted for Merrick Garland, Lisa Monaco, Alejandro Mayorkas. They voted for them.
Yes, they did.
It's that you want to talk about a real insurrection. This is the insurrection inside of the Republican Party, where you have Republicans masquerading, Democrats actually masquerading as Republicans. Very quickly, what do you want to see Kash do on his first day at FBI? Go.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Fire everyone in the Washington FBI field office and open an investigation into what happened there. Open up a separate investigation into the armed raid of Mar-a-Lago and all the agents and officials, including top DOJ, who were involved in that. And of course, a separate inquiry and holding accountable these FBI agents who have been treating American citizens like terrorists over the past 4 years. So that would be, I guess, my short list. But Benny, before we wrap up here, I do not consent to not making fun of Trey Gowdy. I'm sorry. That is a bridge too far. I am not going to stop making fun of him. I understand the motive. I understand you're being gracious. That's not going to happen here. Sorry.
Well, it's not going to hurt his feelings because he moved to England and his house got flooded. And so, it's just too bad. Okay. See, now you got me doing it, Julie. Kelly, you got me doing it. I'm not supposed to make fun of him because he's helping Kash. And I care about, it's horse trading. This is politics. This is media. It's horse trading. We're in a horse trade, are making fun of Trey Gowdy for Kash Patel in the chair, which is what we actually want. Kash Patel in the chair, releasing the Diddy and Epstein lists starting day one. That's what we want.
All right.
Okay.
All right. That's a big sacrifice, Benny.
It's enough. It's enough for me. He's got me on that. Okay.
You're very
so
persuasive.
The great Julie Kelly. Go ahead. 770,000. Great patriotic Americans follow Julie Kelly. You should be one of them. If you're not, you're crazy. Let's get her to 1 million people. We're on our way. See you, Julie.
Thanks, buddy.
We love you. We love you.
Love you back.
Okay, my producers are telling me to stop making the Ellen jokes. Have we covered this? Ellen moved forever. She fled America forever, and she went to England. And I think that's fleeing the scene of a crime, quite frankly, with Ellen, the person who tweeted that Diddy is Cuddle McSnuggle stuff. It's a real tweet. It's a real thing that she said. Okay, so don't come for me because I'm just reading her tweets. And now as soon as she got to England, her house flooded. She bought a mansion in the middle of a place called the Cotswold, and God sent a flood, I suppose. Who knew? Who knows? The Trump curse is real. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited to have back on the show one of our absolute all-time favorite members of Congress from the great state of Texas, somebody who's definitely going to be primarying John Cornyn. I'm just saying it. I don't actually know. I don't know, but we love him. Freaking Chip Roy, baby. Coming in hot. Congressman, how are you? I didn't mean to announce that you're primarying John Cornyn. You're free to announce it though, if you'd like on this program.
Well, I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving too.
You worked with Ted Cruz, John Cornyn. You worked for your boss, no?
Yeah,
yes,
that's true. Yeah, I worked in the Senate Judiciary Committee as a lawyer, and that was with John Cornyn. And then I was Senator Cruz's chief of staff. And look,
I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm not trying to start a fight. We're in a good mood.
No,
I'm not trying to start a fight.
I've been very upfront with Senator Cornyn and our differences over the years. These have not been hidden from public view. Fairly notoriously, 2 years ago, when the Senate passed the massive omnibus spending bill, it's like $1.7 trillion heading into Christmas. It was a total disaster, and I vowed to oppose any bill that came out of the Senate that was sponsored by any of those individuals, including Senator Cornyn, and I did. I honored that commitment, and you got to stand up against the continued status quo in Washington, and that's what we're getting out of the Senate. And increasingly, I'm hearing some of these rumbles in the House, and I'm not for it. When we get here in January, we gotta deliver for the American people.
Oh no. Okay, so you've always been a truth teller on this program. Our audience absolutely loves you, Congressman. You've always come on this program and you said, "Here's the brass tacks. Here's what's actually happening." And we've heard a lot of saber rattling, right? A lot of drum beating. We're gonna fix American elections. We're going to fix the border. You're telling me some of this stuff is on ice. Can you give me sort of a landscape view of where the House is right now? What can we expect to be accomplished in the first year?
Well, we have to deliver, right? So failure is not an option here. I think it's going to be how we get that done. I mean, right now, what you're seeing, let me just give you an example. Please. We've been back in 2 weeks between the election and Thanksgiving, and now we come back and we vote tonight. In that time, I'm being told that we're going to be forced to consider basically $115 billion disaster supplemental package. Now, some of that is going to people who are obviously hurting, North Carolina and parts of the Southeast. But in my view, you have to pay for these things. You got to figure out financially what you're going to do. Yeah. We just passed a $200 billion Social Security bill that will steal money from Social Security taxpayers, redistribute it to other people. $200 billion. This would be $300 billion in the form of 2 months unpaid for. In other words, business as usual. What I'm trying to tell people and warn people, when we come back in January, we can't just keep doing the same thing. So you can't just renew the tax cuts and not have spending cuts, or you're going to get bigger deficits. You can't just do the same thing with the border, which we're already being told by some, oh, no, we can only deport a few people, just certain criminals, right, that we can deport. Hold on. We had all these people released into the United States. They're using social welfare programs. They are a massive expense to communities, like communities in Texas. We should be removing all of the people who are unlawfully put into the United States. I know that's difficult. I know that we got to do it. Tom Homan talks about it, but you already have members of the House that are backpedaling, going on national news saying, well, we can't do that. I'm just telling you, when the rubber meets the road, there's going to be some fireworks if we don't find a way as a Republican conference to get in a room and figure all this out. And that's what I'm calling for now in December. Let's get a roadmap and let's go deliver in January.
Man, if the House doesn't deliver on mass deportations, we regularly play this clip that's it's 8 years old now, and it's of Paul Ryan saying he's going to build the wall. And it's him in a helicopter, and he's got his sleeves all jacked up, right? And he's got a little CrossFit body, and he's in his little, he's riding a horse on the border, right? And it was all lies to the American people. He never once passed, he didn't pass a border bill. He never once funded the wall. He never even fought for it. It was all fake. And so, I guess people should know that we pay attention, and we'll call you out. And we've heard that there are going to be mass deportations. We expect mass deportations.
That's exactly right. And look, let me be very clear. I'm not saying this about any one individual. I'm not talking about the speaker. I've had good conversations with Speaker Johnson about what we're doing and what we're trying to do. What I'm saying is we have a Republican conference that is not committed fully to doing what the president campaigned on, and that they grabbed his coattails to be dragged across the line to get a razor-thin majority, which the House would have lost, but for President Trump's coattails. So we've got to actually deliver. And I don't think right now Republicans understand what that means. It's not just coming from leadership conversations. The conference, okay? There are blocks of the conference that say, oh, I can't vote to repeal the Inflation Reduction Act. I have constituencies who depend on those government subsidies. Don't you know, Benny? We've got to take that money because we love corporate cronyism. That's what I really ran on, Benny. I ran on corporate cronyism. I want the government to give handouts to big corporations. I want the government to tell corporations, yeah, you want cheap labor? Don't worry. We won't do the mass deportations. Wink, wink, nod, nod. We'll remove 100,000 criminals. We'll call it a day. And meanwhile, we're all dealing with the bills in our schools and everything else. And we haven't done what we need to do to clean out the entire system. That's why I supported RFK. That's why I support people who want to blow this system up, right? Start back over. Go back to the founding principles. But if I hear one more Republican tell me that I've got to just get in line to be a team player, I don't want to be a part of a team of losers. I want to be on a team that wants to win and deliver for the American people. And that's what we need to do.
Can you tell me about voter integrity, please? Like, can we do federal voter ID? This is clearly within the purview of Congress to do simple voter ID. And here's the polling on it, Congressman. It is a 90-10 issue. Yeah. A 90-10 issue. Not even mass deportations, I think, would be close to as popular as this single issue. And it would solve so many problems. Is it even proposed, Congressman?
Yeah, sure. Well, it kind of depends on what you mean when you define voter ID. So let's go back to the SAVE Act, which was my bill that I introduced last spring. That bill would require presentation of documentary proof of citizenship to vote and register and then vote in a federal election. We thought that was really critical and would lay the groundwork and would frankly force states to do voter ID, right? Because you're going to have to come in and show, proof of citizenship. You're going to have to come in with a passport, or you're going to have to use real ID, which has already, been put into the system to prove citizenship, or you're going to have to present photo ID with other identification. So we created a system and a framework to do that. The SAVE Act passed the House. 5 Democrats joined, went over to the Senate. Chuck Schumer's been sitting on it. I think this needs to be front and center as one of the first bills we do in January. But we can also add additional, I think, reforms. I think we need to have, for example, tighter voting around, maybe not it has to be same day, but early voting ought to be contained to a week or so. We need to make sure that absentee ballots are literally for our men and women in uniform, and they're very tight, and they're the old absentee ballots. They're not just, throw to the wind mail-in ballots. We should tighten those. We can do all of those things so we can minimize and eliminate the abuses that we're seeing out in California right now, where they're still counting votes a month later, which is absolutely absurd. We should demand that all ballots have to be in on election day. We should get it back to same-day voting, make it a holiday, minimal early voting, and we should have things like the SAVE Act that requires documentary proof of citizenship to vote in federal elections. We need to do all of that, and we need to do it quickly. I'm working on it, but we need Republicans to stand up and get it done.
I unite with you. We love the SAVE Act. I know we've been on this show talking about it. Everyone in Congress loves the SAVE Act. It's one of the few, and congratulations on that. You have everyone backing you on this, including Democrats, right? It's like it's such a kick-ass piece of legislation. The Senate, it's in the Senate. So could the Republican senators just pick it up on January 20 and pass it?
Yes, they could. We obviously get a new Congress. We would have to repass it. And I think we're working on, we'll refile the bill. We'll probably tweak it a little bit. You learn stuff over the year, make a few little tweaks and improvements. We might add a few other things like I was just discussing with respect to when you vote and the timing of voting. But at the end of the day, we can move multiple bills, and the Senate absolutely can and should pick it up and pass it. I expect that they would. Obviously, 60 votes in the Senate means you're going to have some Democrats that are going to have to kind of get comfortable with it. But given that we had 5 Democrats during an election season, I think we can move that bill through the Senate, and we should.
It's incredible polling. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the polling that it's a 90-10 issue. Possibly the most popular thing that Congress could do would be pass federal voter ID.
These are the kind of things, Benny, that if we can't do that, then the Republican Party will be on the ash heap of history, right? If we can't do that, if we can't deliver on border security, give President Trump what he needs to secure the border, make sure that we do reconciliation the right way, leave money in the people's pockets, but be responsible, make sure we drive deficits down and get rid of these deficit spending. Look, it's not enough just for Elon and Vivek to do DOGE. I'm for it. Go cut that waste out. But you can't pass a $115 billion unpaid for disaster supplemental. You can't come in and do more of the same defense spending. Right now, the Senate, Republicans and Democrats want to increase defense spending even further without going through and cutting all of the waste and the fraud and abuse at the Pentagon. We need a whole new way of thinking. So we've got to get responsible to do that, or the Republican Party is going to get tossed out on its ear in 2 years. We have basically 1 year to deliver, and it needs to start on January 3rd, the day we're sworn in.
Heck yes. Okay, so really quick, I know we're up against a hard out. You name-dropped DOGE. You have been the hawk on federal spending. I'm not sure if you're communicating directly with Elon or Vivek. I know you know them. Where would you start? Can you give just a really quick roadmap here for DOGE?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm not going to talk about private conversation, but obviously we've got lots of conversations going on broadly. And look, I think they're doing a lot of good work gathering in information. Frankly, you can do a lot of crowdsourcing is stupid. But look, I think what you've got to do is you've got to go in and find very directly the obvious programs and waste that you can cut on day one and just eliminate them. Just start showing that you can shrink that federal bureaucracy. Because if you do that, then you can have the real conversations on mandatory spending, Social Security, Medicare reforms, getting healthcare prices down. Those are harder and more complicated. But if you go in and you just lay waste to the federal bureaucracy, fire half the bureaucrats on day one, get rid of a whole bunch of the unnecessary laws, boom, get in there and go cutting out all of the way. Like, let me give you an example. Right now, we've got money we're still spending for out of FEMA, money for funerals for COVID in California and around the country. We're literally paying for funerals. I mean, you can't make this up. There's still a COVID line. We still have a line for Katrina in current FEMA disaster funding bills. Think about that. That was 19 years ago. There is so much waste going on in the federal government, and we've got to just go through and blow it up on day one. And that, I think, is that what earns you the ability to go do the complicated stuff. There's going to take more work to figure out how to reform defense, how to go in and deal with Medicare and Social Security. And if you want to drive healthcare prices down, we need health savings accounts that are fully in the control of human, citizens, not corporations. Take the money out of the corporations' hands, take the money out of the government hands, give it to people and let them use it with doctors. That's the number one way we can drive health prices down for Americans and save money with Medicare and Medicaid.
There it is right here, the full endorsement of DOGE by the great Chip Roy. Let's click on that account. Let's make sure we get the great congressman from Texas. We need as many followers as possible to flow into the patriots that defend us and protect us in Congress. Final question, are you in favor of Kash Patel as FBI director, Congressman?
Of course. Yeah, we need disruptors. We need somebody to go in the FBI. And I say that as a former federal prosecutor. I want an FBI and a lot of great agents that I work with. But there's a lot of agents who need their butts kicked. And we need somebody there who's going to go in and be unafraid at the Department of Justice and, with Pam Bondi and obviously now with Kash at FBI. But across the entirety of all this stuff, RFK and HHS, Heg sat over at the Pentagon, all of the people in this town, they're wigging out because they're like, well, these guys, they don't know how it works yet. That's why we love them. They want to come in with an eye from the American people and disrupt this town.
Yes. And I think there's no place better to start than the FBI, quite frankly.
Yep.
Yes. Thank you so much, Congressman, for your fight. Godspeed.
Thanks, Benny. God bless.
All right, baby. Rocking and rolling. So excited to have both of them back. I was like, you have some people that you have to have in the rotation, right? You gotta have them. They gotta be they gotta be on the show. Julie Kelly's one. Chip Roy is a spectacular member of Congress who has been fighting so hard to keep, obviously, Texas, to keep Congress under control. He's like the original OG Doge, kind of, right? Am I wrong, Alex? It's like the original OG Doge. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want your Christmas tree to be as red as Texas, we have our official Benny Show Christmas ornament. I have a important announcement. First off, $5. They are $5. Okay, we make them here in America. None of the Christmas ornament is made in China. None of the Christmas ornament is made in Vietnam. None of it. It's all made here by American veterans. It's $5. It's also only available for the next 24 hours because we have to ship by Christmas. And to get them actually made, we are physically making these here in Florida. We have physical factories here in Florida. All of the raw materials, everything sourced here in America. We're physically making them. We have to get them by Christmas. Got to order. So you can go now. There's links in all of the descriptions. Wherever you're watching, we have our Shopify link to all of our accounts. Go now, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta promise to get shipments by Christmas. Get shipments by Christmas and send us photos. Send us photos of your tree. Okay? Send us photos of these on your tree. We'll share them all. Share them all. Our Christmas gift to you, ladies and gentlemen. Another Christmas gift that we have to you is Libs turning on Joe Biden. Now, there was a bunch of Libs who snapped when Joe Biden did the blanket pardon of Hunter Biden, calling him senile, calling him bitter, selfish, saying that this is going to destroy the Democrat Party, and it has, and it's on its way to destroying the Democrat Party. But man, nothing like Chuck Todd this morning. Chuck Todd was the old Meet the Press guy. Remember Chuck Todd? Yeah. Chuck Todd was this Meet the Press dude who was the number one journalist in D.C. gets the Meet the Press job, okay? The old Tim Russert job, back when these things really mattered. So Chuck Todd did this for NBC for a very long time. And just to show you exactly how fraudulent they are, I mean, he doesn't deserve to be praised for this, okay? You deserve to be praised for this kind of stuff if you do it while you still have power. It doesn't help when you ever seen like if you have a jacket that has both teams' colors on it and one team wins, and so you reverse the jacket, you zip it, you reverse it, and then you walk out of the stadium wearing the other team's colors, you're just a fraud. This is what Chuck Todd is doing here, but yet Chuck Todd is admitting the open criminality of Joe Biden. The reason why this is important is because it's destroying Barack Obama. The true enemy is Barack Obama, his stranglehold on that party, wokeism, leftism. Joe Biden is a cutout for Barack Obama's power. And the harsher that we savage and destroy that system, the better this country will be, because they have no alternative. That's it. The more fraudulent we prove Obama is, the better this country. That's the work of this show. We're going to destroy that system. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Chuck Todd losing his mind on Hunter Biden and what a degenerate freak he is.
I followed the Hunter Biden trial very closely. Mm-hmm. I read every transcript, all the testimony, because that's what all that was made public. And there is, you want to get angry, just as somebody in just all these mixed emotions. You read the Hallie Biden transcript, and that's Beau's widow.
Yes.
And essentially he turned her into a crack addict. And this was all happening in 2017, 2018. And Joe Biden were so concerned about their family that they decided to run for president.
Yep.
So when you talk about the word selfish, it's almost like the word doesn't, their decision to run for president put the entire Democratic Party and the United States of America in the position that it's in now.
Just crazy times that we live in. We actually are at the precipice of destroying the Obama machine. There is no more Clinton machine. There is no more Obama machine. And now the clowns have turned on the asylum. Right? Like the clowns. I mean, they are kind of clowns. Like the people in the straitjackets are now like running the asylum. They're running rampant. These are the kind of like corporate media goons that should stay in line. But it's not working. Even on CNN, a guy named Scott Jennings, who we really like, he's laying waste to the commentators on CNN trying to defend this move. It is the most devastating move. I see it. That's why we spent the entire show on it and did like a 60-minute monologue yesterday on this thing. It's a move that is the mask-off moment, and it shows you how fraudulent this party is, how elite this party is, that this party is a parasitic Ponzi scheme to defraud Americans and to protect the elites. That's it. That's what the Democrat Party stands for. Republican Party is the exact opposite. It's so great to tell this story. Scott Jennings doing God's work over here on CNN. Go.
There are Democrats saying they're not happy that President Biden made this decision.
Yeah, well, tough. The president went ahead and did what he thought was right for him and to protect his son.
Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it, and that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites and nobody else. He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth. Never again. I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar, and there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
Oh, hell yes. This dude is dropping bombs on CNN. Big fans of Scott Jennings. Don't know him. Never met him. Hopefully soon. What a good homie. Some people are saying Scott Jennings would be a great press secretary for Donald Trump. Yeah, I mean, actually, yes. I can't wait for the press release that we just got moments ago. This breaking live right now, ladies and gentlemen. Miami-Dade County. This used to be, of course, a dark blue county that voted for Hillary Clinton. Oh, how quickly the turntables turn. Miami-Dade County has now officially established Donald J. Trump Avenue in Miami. Miami-Dade went for Trump by 11 points this year after previously going blue. Today, we ratified a city of Hialeah's initiative to honor President Trump's legacy as a champion for freedom and opportunity by co-designating Palm Avenue, a vital artery in our community, as Donald J. Trump Avenue, says Commissioner Kevin Marino Cabrera. Can we cue the Donald Trump dance? Can we get it? Please, Alex, don't be mad at me. You know, please, Danny. Danny's from Miami. Danny's from Miami. I think like the Donald Trump Miami. Can we cue the? We gotta have it. We gotta do it just one more time. Maybe just forever. Maybe forever. The Donald Trump mariachi song ad. Donald Trump Spanish language ad. That's what we want. We have a celebration. We have a celebration. Do we have a celebration for this? Okay, so while we're getting that queued up, we'll end with that. While we're getting that queued up, ladies and gentlemen, our verse of the day today is, here we go, Matthew 6:12. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also. I was talking with my wife about this last night, actually. Like, what exactly is my hobby? You know, what's my hobby? Like, do I have any hobbies? Yeah, like my kids, actually. Like, I think, you know, it's a line from The Godfather. You know, a good man will spend time with his family. Like, that's actually, I have work, I go to work, and I got my kids, and that's it. That's my life. Show me a man's calendar, show me his credit card bill, and I'll show you what his priorities are, right? So this is clearly true, obviously, but also something that you should really consider throughout the holiday season, right? And it's like, man, there's nothing that like true riches. You see all these interviews with billionaires and these like really rich people, and it's like true riches. These guys like having their kids want to spend time with them. That's it. That's it. They don't. They don't. You can have the plane, you can have the cars, you can have the house. Doesn't matter. Like, do your kids want to see you? Do they want to spend time with you? They love you. Well, that's wealth. That's riches. Ladies and gentlemen, please consider if you want to be a little generous this holiday season, going and getting yourself an ornament, because it's that we can't ship them after tomorrow. After tomorrow, tomorrow's the last day we can guarantee shipment by Christmas. Join the Benny Brigade, sign up and become a member, support our programming. We really appreciate. We've really happy about the work. Really happy about the work of this program, and we feel like it had an outsized effect, quite frankly, on the 2024 election. We feel like the youth vote was influenced by this show directly, and Donald Trump won the youth vote in many swing states. For instance, in Wisconsin, under 25 voted for Trump. They actually broke for Trump. Trump won under 25 in Wisconsin. How incredible is that? Data out from yesterday. So please support our mission here. Sign up for the Benny Brigade, or become a member on X, or on social, or on YouTube, or on Rumble, and we just appreciate all of you. Either whatever it is, we know that this economy has been tough for everyone. We appreciate all of you. We are going to save this country through a confluence of miracles from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and we're going to be really we have a lot to be thankful for. It might be the best Christmas season ever, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, we have, I think, do we have two? Yeah. We have now, to celebrate Miami naming Donald J. Trump Boulevard, which is a huge, actually Palm Boulevard in Hialeah. I know exactly where that is. It's huge. It's huge. This is where we did the Vivek debate preparation, actually. It was right there. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite Donald Trump ads of all time, Trump's Spanish language ads. Is this part of why he just got, is this part of why, this is in Little Havana in Miami. This is a hugely Hispanic neighborhood. Is this part of why they just renamed it? No doubt. Here we go. Donald Trump's best ads of the 2020 and 2024 cycle. Get your dancing moves on. It's your boy Benny. See ya.
Ay, por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. La buena vida por Trump. La economía por Trump. Hazlo por tu familia. Latinos por Donald Trump. Ay, por Dios, yo voy a votar por Donald Trump.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. The people go out to vote, no fear, no more. Vote for Trump. Let's go. Vote for Trump. If you wanna keep America great, vote for Trump. Let's do it. I vote for Trump. Come on. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote. Oh yeah, for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. Oh my God, I will vote for Donald Trump. I don't believe in fake news. All I need is the truth. Because we love our country. We love it just like you. Economy. For Trump. Life is good. For Trump. Because we love our country. We love it just like you. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump. If you feel proud to be American, raise your hand, God bless America. If you feel proud to be American, raise your hand, God bless America. Oh my God, I will vote. I will vote for Donald Trump.
My God, I actually pity those poor bastards we're going up against. My God, I do. We're not going to just meme those globalists. We're going to meme them till they cry and use their tears to grease the treads of our takes.
Son of a dead.
What exactly does Canada want?
We want more money. Yeah, more money. As you can see from this graph, the entire economy of Canada relies on American money. Without them, we are doomed to recession.
What say you, Mr. American?
Canada.
You!
They're not even a real country anyway.
Show where the truth gon' be. Faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to life. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade. Cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be. Faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to life. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Liberty to light. Bringing liberty to life. From the speeches to debates, Benny sharp like a blade. Cutting through the lies, watch the truth cascade. With the warrior's heart, this man never fades. You know it's prime time when Benny invades. From saving the nation to stories untold, the Benny Show's a storm, see the truth unfold. Stay in the loop, let freedom take hold. Salting all the libs, soul never sold. It's the Benny Show, where the truth gon' be. Faith and freedom on your TV screen. Stand up strong, battle through the night. The Benny Show's here, bringing liberty to life. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light. Bringing liberty to light.